Eugenics is the science of improving the genetic quality of a race or breed. In World War II, we see this in Germany with the rise of the Aryan race. The most defining features of the Aryan race is having blue eyes, blonde hair, and having an overall great physique with no physical defects. This is also known as having a Nordic complex. Nazi eugenics in World War II really began with the law for the prevention of genetically diseased offspring, which made it legal for the sick, the mentally unfit, and even alcoholics to be involuntarily sterilized. It's important to note that while the sterilization law was aiming toward the master race, it did not mean that specific races were being targeted. Post-war, the sterilization law saw a massive change in basic human rights and what's considered inferior and superior qualities, plus what's considered humane and inhumane. The next defining moment in Nazi eugenics actually stemmed from the sterilization law. It was Action T4, otherwise known as the euthanasia scheme. Created by Hitler himself, Action T4 sought involuntary euthanasia and was undercover, targeted the same inferior subjects as the sterilization law, and was supposed to aid the war effort by freeing beds and resources. The consequences of Action T4 saw over 70,000 sick and elderly murdered, over 88 million Reichsmark saved each year, 90,000 hospital beds were freed, and hundreds and thousands of kilos of food were saved. However, the severe modern impacts of Action T4 include the legality behind euthanasia and how it is carried out, the blurred difference between involuntary and voluntary euthanasia, and the stigmatization of assisted suicide. Finally, during World War II, Hitler changed abortion laws so that German and Aryan women couldn't get abortions. However, Jewish, Black, Slav, Romani, and Jehovah's Witness women could, under the premise that it was for racial or hereditary defects. This was another attempt for the Nazis to increase their Aryan master race. However, it saw that any pro-abortion movement at the time was knocked from sight. And not just in Germany. In fact, the entire world was seeing this idea of a master race, and, particularly the communist countries, decided that they should all ban abortion too. The pre-war increasing pro-abortion movement was quickly knocked down. To this day, the world still sees the impacts, including the ethical reasons for abortion, where it is legal, and the penalties for it. To summarize, we can see that Nazi eugenics in World War II had three major parts: the sterilization law and forced sterilization, Action T4 and undercover euthanasia, and the abortion laws. All three of these still impact modern medicine, ethics, and morals to this day.
Created using Powtoon.